The day everything went wrong. Chernobyl. The early hours of April the 26th, 1986, began like any other in the small town of Pripyat, Ukraine. Residents woke to the hum of machinery, the smell of morning dew, and children playing in the streets. Life seemed ordinary. But at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, deep inside Reactor 4, a series of events was about to unfold that would change history forever. In the heart of the Soviet Union, nuclear power represented progress, a symbol of technological might. The Chernobyl plant, the pride of Soviet engineering, was among the largest in the world. But hidden beneath its concrete and steel were cracks, flaws, and a series of critical miscalculations that no one fully understood. Until that fateful night. Reactor 4, a RBMK design, was notorious among engineers for its unstable reactor core and positive void coefficient. Essentially, it could become dangerously unstable at low power. The night of April 25th to 26th was chosen for a scheduled safety test. The purpose was simple in theory: to simulate a power outage and test the backup generator's ability to keep the cooling pumps running. Operators at Chernobyl were trained, yet unprepared for the complexity of this test. The reactor had already been operating at low power, and previous missteps in the evening created a precarious situation. A series of safety systems had been disabled to conduct the test. Unknown to many, the combination of a flawed reactor design and human error was a ticking time bomb. At 1:23 a.m., the operators began the experiment. Power levels were reduced below safe limits, causing instability in the reactor's core. Efforts to correct the situation by withdrawing control rods only made the problem worse. The team was operating in a high-pressure environment, anxious to complete the test before the morning shift arrived. Yet each action, well-intentioned, pushed Reactor 4 closer to disaster. The reactor's design flaw meant that under these conditions, it could experience a sudden and uncontrollable surge in power. This was exactly what happened. At 1:23:04 a.m., the reactor violently exploded. The first explosion blew off the reactor's heavy steel and concrete lid, exposing the core to the atmosphere. A second explosion followed, throwing radioactive materials high into the sky. Firefighters and plant workers rushed to the scene, unaware of the invisible threat. Within minutes, those first responders were exposed to lethal doses of radiation. The sky over Chernobyl glowed with an eerie light, radioactive dust drifting over Pripyat and beyond. Panic did not immediately set in. The Soviet authorities initially attempted to contain the disaster quietly, underestimating its scale. Meanwhile, the plant's radiation monitors maxed out, unable to measure the true intensity. Workers inside the control room were irradiated almost instantly, some receiving doses hundreds of times higher than lethal levels. Many would die within weeks, their symptoms horrifying: nausea, vomiting, skin burns, and internal organ failure. Evacuation of Pripyat did not occur immediately. Residents went about their routines for nearly 36 hours, unknowingly inhaling radioactive particles. Schoolchildren played outside, adults prepared meals, and families slept as invisible radiation accumulated in their bodies. By the time officials ordered evacuation, the damage had already begun. Helicopters flew over Reactor 4, dropping sand, lead, and boron to smother the fire and contain radioactive emissions. Firefighters, miners, and plant workers worked tirelessly in suits that offered little protection. They poured concrete over the reactor, cleared radioactive debris, and faced conditions that no human should endure. Many of them would suffer from acute radiation syndrome. Some would never return home. The Soviet government attempted secrecy. International observers were not informed immediately. It was only when radiation levels were detected in Sweden that the world became aware of the scale of the disaster. Chernobyl had gone global. Radiation exposure at Chernobyl caused immediate deaths, but its impact would extend for decades. Thyroid cancers skyrocketed, particularly among children who drank contaminated milk. Hundreds of thousands of people were displaced, leaving behind homes, possessions, and communities. The exclusion zone, a 30-kilometer radius around the plant, became a ghostly landscape. Wildlife, once abundant, suffered mutations, but astonishingly, some species adapted. Forests grew over abandoned towns, wolves and wild horses roamed where humans had vanished. The environment told a story of resilience, yet the human cost was immense. Generations would bear the legacy of radiation through health issues, social disruption, and psychological trauma. The disaster was not only technical, it was deeply human. Workers like Alexander Akimov and Leonid Toptonov stayed at their posts, trying to stabilize the reactor. Firefighters like Vasily Ignatenko fought flames, knowing nothing of radiation. Ordinary citizens of Pripyat were evacuated with only a few belongings, their lives forever changed. Families were split, communities erased, and personal histories disrupted. Many survivors recount haunting memories, the quiet of an empty city, the abandoned toys in schoolyards, the silent hospitals filled with radiation sickness patients. Each story is a testament to resilience, tragedy, and the profound cost of technological failure. Chernobyl exposed flaws in both reactor design and governance. The RBMK reactor's positive void coefficient made it inherently unstable at low power. Safety protocols were ignored or overridden. But beyond technology, political culture played a role. A system that prioritized image over truth, delayed evacuation, and withheld information. Investigations revealed a cascade of errors: deactivated safety systems, miscommunication, inadequate training, and design flaws. The disaster became a case study in risk management, organizational behavior, and nuclear safety worldwide. It reshaped policies, led to reactor shutdowns, and forced governments to reconsider nuclear energy. Cleanup operations were monumental. Thousands of liquidators, including soldiers, firefighters, and engineers, worked to contain radiation. They built the first sarcophagus, removed contaminated soil, and decontaminated towns. Many suffered long-term health consequences. Decades later, a new steel sarcophagus, the new safe confinement, was built to encase Reactor 4 permanently. Chernobyl left a permanent imprint on culture, inspiring books, documentaries, and even popular series. It became a cautionary tale about the intersection of human error, flawed technology, and bureaucratic secrecy. Yet, amidst devastation, life persisted in unexpected ways. Flora and fauna thrived, and abandoned towns became haunting reminders of human fragility. The day everything went wrong at Chernobyl is a story of tragedy, heroism, and warning. It reminds us that technology, no matter how advanced, carries risks. Human oversight, ethical responsibility, and transparency are as vital as engineering skill. Chernobyl is not just a place, it is a lesson, a warning, a testament to resilience, both of the human spirit and of nature itself. The scars remain, but so do the stories, etched in memory, soil, and history. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and comment what ideas you would like to see in future videos. Thank you.